We begin our report with former President Donald Trump on the attack, trying to counter what he calls his opponent's honeymoon phase.
It's the same policies, open borders, weak on crime. I think she's worse than Biden because he got forced into the position. She was there long before. She destroyed San Francisco. She destroyed California as the AG. We have somebody that, in my opinion, is more incompetent. She couldn't pass her bar exam and lots of other things. And she should not be in a position, because if she becomes president, our country is going to be a giant fail. It's going to fail. All of that being said, I think it's very important to have debates. And we've agreed with Fox on a date of September 4th. We've agreed with NBC, fairly full agreement, subject to them, on September 10th. And we've agreed with ABC on September 25th. So we have those three dates, and those networks, they're very anxiously awaiting that date and those dates. So we have September 4th, September 10th, and September 25th. We have spoken to the heads of the network, and it's all been confirmed, other than some fairly minor details. Audience, some location, which city would we put it into, but all things that will be settled very easily, I think it'll be very easy. The other side has to agree to the terms. They may or may not agree. I don't know if they're going to agree. She hasn't done an interview. She can't do an interview. She's barely competent, and she can't do an interview. But I look forward to the debates, because I think we have to set the record straight. Why is it that millions of people were allowed to come into our country from prisons, from jails, from mental institutions, insane asylums, even insane asylums? That's
a few moments later.
Madam Vice President, Donald Trump agreed to 3 debates. Will you be participating in all 3?
I've always been on record. I am looking forward to debating Donald Trump, and we have a date of September 10th. I hear he is finally committed to it. I'm looking forward.
What about the other 2?
Let's make sure we get this photo of everyone. Look right here, right there.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I gotta tell you guys, things are starting to unravel for the Kamala Harris campaign. Slowly but surely, and I really believe that things are going to start to unravel a lot faster as her honeymoon phase starts to come to an end. I mean, we're already seeing some cracks in the armor. Like, for example, yesterday in Michigan, she did a rally in which she showed her lack of political instincts, because she decided that it would be a good idea to try to shut down a pro-Palestinian heckler, okay, by doing the tough black woman shtick that has pissed off a lot of the far left, okay? They have been reminded that, hey, you know, this woman, Kamala Harris, she doesn't have any policy positions. She's not committing to anything, but she's telling us to shut up and to vote for her, or else you must want Trump to win, okay? And that has pissed a lot of people off on the left, okay? That was an off-the-teleprompter moment for Kamala Harris, something that she hasn't had basically this whole campaign. In fact, her whole campaign has been scripted. It doesn't matter where she goes. She's saying the exact same things.
So good to be back in Michigan. Listen, let me tell you, I am clear. The path to the White House runs right through this state. And listen, I am clear. The path to the White House runs right through this state. I took on perpetrators of all kinds. I took on perpetrators of all kinds and had a summer job at McDonald's. I had a summer job at McDonald's. So hear me when I say, Detroit, when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. I know Donald Trump's type. And are we ready to fight for it? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win.
Yeah, so again, the reason why she doesn't want to talk off the teleprompter is because she will fold like a wet paper bag, okay? I mean, this is the same woman that folded when asked who is the best rapper alive in 2020, in which she subsequently answered the question with a rapper who's not alive.
Best rapper alive.
Tupac.
He's not alive. You said he lives on.
But not alive. I know. I keep just...
You said Listen, West Coast girls think Tupac lives on. I'm with you. So Tupac, keep going.
Keep doing that. Who would I say? I mean, there's so many. I mean, there are some that I would not mention right now because they should stay in their lane. But others, I
don't know what that means. I want to know who one of those are.
Keep moving.
Okay,
Keep moving, Angela.
All right. That was not supposed to be a stumper either. What about
Yeah, so not only did she piss off the far left at her Michigan campaign rally, but she also picked a vice presidential running mate who is being accused of stolen valor, okay? He has pissed off a whole lot of veterans because this guy apparently lied about the rank that he achieved when he retired. And also, he claimed that he went into combat, or he strongly implied that he fought with a weapon of war on the battlefield, even though that is not true. Not to mention, this guy is a far-left socialist that likes to put tampons in boys' bathrooms, okay? And this is the guy that thought it would be a good idea to call his political opponents weird, okay? There's a whole lot of questions about Tim Walz that need to be answered, just like there's a whole lot of questions about Kamala Harris and her campaign. And up until now, the media has not pressured Kamala Harris to do any interviews or to answer any questions because they are colluding with Kamala Harris to help her get elected. Except the GOP has come out and now started pressuring the media to do their damn jobs and for Kamala Harris to stop being a coward and hiding from the media. And now, lo and behold, after this pressure campaign from Trump and other Republicans, that I strongly recommend it, right? Go to the media and tell them, hey, you guys aren't doing your jobs and Kamala Harris is running away from interviews, okay? Now, lo and behold, Kamala Harris is answering questions after Trump's press conference. Or put it this way, let me actually be more accurate here. She's not answering questions. She's taking questions because, again, we really didn't get any answers to the real questions that she should be asked, but she decided to take questions in response to Trump's proposal for 3 debates, including one on Fox News before the ABC debate. Take a look.
Reporter Shauna Mizell in Minneapolis following Vice President Kamala Harris's running mate, Governor Tim Walz. Of course, Walz is on the road with Harris. Shauna, good to see you. One of Trump's campaign critiques of Harris is that she's not taking questions from the press. Can you fact check us on this?
Lindsay, good to be with you. That is exactly right. Trump, J.D. Vance, and other Republican allies were repeatedly going after Kamala Harris, saying she had not been seen. They were asking, where's Kamala? They said that she had not been seen since Biden stepped down and she became the presumptive Democratic nominee for president. But just earlier today on the tarmac in Detroit, Vice President Harris actually did take questions in a gaggle with reporters, and some of the things that she addressed are some of the things that we just heard from our ally Novello. Some of the things that Trump said, she did acknowledge Trump saying that he will debate her. She said she was happy about that and took a few more other questions amid all of that controversy and questioning from Republican operatives saying, where is she and why isn't she talking to reporters?
But President Trump had a press conference today. He talked about a lot of things. What if you have reaction to what he's talking about?
Well, I'm glad that he's finally agreed to a debate on September 10th. I'm looking forward to it and hope he shows up.
Are you open to more debates?
I am happy to have that conversation about an additional debate for after September 10th, for sure.
He proposed two more debates.
Like I said, happy to have that conversation.
Why do you think he pulled out of the debate with you? Why do you think
I am beyond trying to speculate about how he thinks. What else?
Can you comment on some of his other criticisms? He made a whole litany of them today. Some of them are about your...
I was too busy talking to voters. I didn't hear them.
Some of the criticism has been about your vice presidential pick and his leaving the National Guard at 24 years. Vance said that he deserted his own troops or his own colleagues. What's your take on that?
Listen, I praise anyone who has presented themselves to serve our country. And I think that we all should.
Madam Vice President, there's been a lot of questions about when you're going to sit down for your first interview since being the nominee. Do you have any update on that?
I've talked to my team. I want us to get an interview scheduled before the end of the month.
Thank you.
What do you make about the attack on your husband's face?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I got to tell you guys, after watching Kamala Harris's response to Trump's request for 3 debates, I am personally extremely confident. I am reassured that Kamala Harris's campaign is on borrowed time. 100%. Her campaign is a house of cards. That interview right there from Kamala Harris reeks of weakness. Reeks of weakness, right? She is running scared and she's feeling the pressure, because if she wasn't feeling the pressure, then she would not have took those questions. The only reason she took those questions is because her campaign is now saying, okay, these attacks from Republicans are working, right? They're working. Calling Kamala scared, a coward, calling out the media for allowing her to run away from questions is working. It is a campaign strategy that I think has been the most successful line of attack against Kamala Harris thus far, because now she's on the defense, right? She's on the defense. So let's break down what Kamala Harris said. Kamala Harris has basically said she is committed to doing the debate on September 10th on ABC. Now, Trump has proposed 3 debates. He wants one on Fox News on September 4th, I believe. And then he wants another one on NBC after the ABC debate. Now, here's the thing. It is normal for presidential candidates to have about 3 or 4 debates, right? That is totally normal. Trump has already accepted a debate that the mainstream liberal media falsely claimed that he pulled out of. And he smartly is now requesting 2 more debates on top of that. And that now puts Kamala Harris in a position of being pressured to accept those debates, because if she doesn't, then it's going to look very weird that she is only willing to do 1 debate. There's actually no excuses at all for why Kamala Harris shouldn't do at least 1 Fox News debate, considering how she's getting 2 debates on ABC News and NBC. Now, the mainstream liberal media will try to mental jujitsu this by saying that, well, ABC and NBC are neutral, right? Which we know that's not the case, right? We know that's not the case. They're not neutral. So you have 2 liberal media debates and 1 debate on Fox News, which is legacy media. And if you're going to say that any of these platforms are neutral, then Fox News would actually be the neutral platform. They would be the most objective platform out of all 3 of those platforms. So Trump has basically proposed 3 debates in which he is at a disadvantage. However, I think what the Trump campaign has kind of realized, and I think that this is pretty obvious, that the way to defeat Kamala, the way to attack Kamala is no different than the way to attack Joe Biden, right? It's no different. It's the same thing. It hasn't changed. I think what has happened over the past 2 weeks is that all the media hype has made a lot of people, including myself, overthink the strategy, overthink what's actually going on here. There's no difference between Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Let me explain. All of Kamala's policies are Joe Biden's policies. All of Joe Biden's policies are Kamala's policies. Kamala Harris, just like Joe Biden, is running away from the media. Well, why is that? It's because Kamala, just like Joe Biden, can't take questions. They can't do anything off a teleprompter. So the more that Kamala Harris is exposed, just like Joe Biden was exposed, the worse that she's going to do. She's going to put herself in a bad situation. Just like every single interview that she's done before, she has said something incredibly stupid that really turns off voters. There's a reason why she is the most unpopular vice president in history. We cannot forget that, guys. That's not a coincidence. That's not an anomaly. It's because in the past, all the interviews that she's done, all the public speaking events in which she takes questions from the press, she has not done very well. There's a reason why this woman had to drop out of the Democrat primary before the first vote was cast. Okay? We have to remember that. So the fact that Kamala Harris is hesitant to accept additional debates tells me that she is lacking confidence, right? Like, she is severely lacking confidence. And the reason why I know this for sure is because also in that interview, notice how she said that, well, I might take 1 interview from the media before the end of the month. And it's like, no. It's August 8th. We have 20 plus days into the end of the month and you might do 1 interview. So you're talking about a whole month of Kamala Harris being the Democrat nominee, but she only is going to take 1 interview from the media, just 1. She's scared to death. She's scared to death, right? She really is like frightened of the media. She's frightened of any kind of adversity that she may experience from taking questions from the media and sitting down and doing an actual interview, guys. I mean, it's super obvious. She's making it extremely obvious. I mean, her campaign has essentially come out and say, well, we might think about doing additional debates if Trump shows up to the first debate, right? As if Trump is not going to show up to the first debate. At this point, what they're trying to do is that they're trying to get away with just doing one debate, right? They know they can't get away with doing no debates, so they're trying to just do one debate, and that's it. That's what they're trying to get away with. And I think worst case scenario, what Trump should do at the very least is if Kamala Harris chickens out of the Fox News debate, then he should show up and do a town hall, trash Kamala Harris for not showing up, right? Calling her a coward, and then show up to the ABC debate and destroy her there, right? And who knows, if he's feeling real confident, then do another debate on NBC. If Kamala doesn't want to show up, then turn that into a town hall, right? I'm just saying. I think Trump has the leverage here. But because Trump has already proposed 3 debates, it's going to look really bad on her for not accepting additional debates. But again, they're trying to finesse their way through it. However, I think that this is what's likely going to happen, okay? Kamala Harris, because she's not taking any questions, because she hasn't done any debates recently, she's going to go into that ABC debate, regardless of what happens in regards to her doing a Fox News debate, whichever comes first. I don't think she's ever going to accept a Fox News debate, but quite honestly, Trump might not need it. I mean, to be honest with you, they might only need one debate, okay? It just looks bad that she's not accepting the 3 debates that Trump proposed, which is why it's smart that he proposed those debates ahead of time, especially now. But let's just say they only do one debate on ABC. Because we know that Kamala Harris is extremely nervous and that she's not very confident in herself because, again, if she was confident, she'd do interviews. She's going to go into that debate very, very, very rusty. And there's going to be a lot of pressure on her to perform doing that first debate because that's the only debate that they're looking to do. And I think that makes it a lot more likely that she's going to mess it up. She's going to mess it up. She's going to lay an egg. She's going to humiliate herself. And it's not really hard for Trump to make that happen because all Trump has to do is stick to the policies and the issues, don't attack her too much, and just let her talk. Do the exact same thing that he did with Joe Biden. That's it. The same strategy that Trump used going into the CNN debate with Joe Biden, which is to just let Joe Biden talk. They should do the same thing with Kamala Harris because Kamala is extremely rusty. She hasn't answered any questions because she knows that she's not good at answering questions. She's not good with the media. She knows that. They all know that. Everybody knows that. Remember, there's a reason why Democrats hesitated so much to overthrow Joe Biden with Kamala, right? If Democrats were confident in Kamala Harris's ability, Joe Biden would have been overthrown a long time ago, maybe a couple years ago. But because Kamala Harris is so bad, she's so terrible, that's why they didn't have confidence in her. So they're only rolling with her because they have to. And you're already seeing the reason why they didn't want to roll with Kamala because she's terrible, right? Anytime she is not speaking off of a teleprompter, anytime she's not on a script, she falls apart. And at the debate, she won't be on a script. She will actually have a little bit of pushback, at least from Trump. The media may be on her side, but I do think that that type of environment is not going to be good for her. I really don't. I think that she's going to fall. I think that she's going to implode because I think at some point she's going to actually have to answer questions. And at that point, her campaign will start to lose a lot of steam. I'm so serious. And all Republicans got to do is just stick with this. Stick with the policies and also asking the media, why is Kamala not doing interviews? Why is Kamala not taking more questions? When is Kamala going to do a press conference? Why is Kamala not accepting more debates? That's it. That's all they got to do. Really, the best line of attack against Kamala is that, hey, she's running scared. She's not answering questions. She's not doing it. Like, they have been saying it for the past week, and now finally, the Kamala campaign, they folded. They folded, and they finally started taking questions after that Trump press conference. So just stick with that because that puts her on defense. That puts a lot of pressure on her to do something that she clearly doesn't want to do. And if she folds and she starts to actually sit down for these interviews, now you have more lines of attack because she's going to open herself up with the stupid things that she's going to say doing interviews. So, again, I personally have renewed confidence that what's happening right now is just temporary and that this honeymoon is going to end sooner than later, because you're already seeing the Kamala Harris campaign. They're feeling the pressure. They've already changed the biography of Tim Walz on Kamala's website. Okay, they've already started to kind of backtrack on that whole stolen valor thing, right? So these attacks they're landing, right? Don't let the media fool you. I think that things are going to turn around here quickly, okay, because I think the Republicans have kind of found the right strategy to go after Kamala Harris. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.